The Blackhawks beat Joel Quenneville and the Anaheim Ducks 2-1 in overtime. Let's celebrate in a CHGO Winners Lounge next on CHGO Blackhawks. Hawks win. Welcome into the CHGO Blackhawks post-game podcast. I'm Jay Zawaski. That's Greg Boysen. Mario Tirabassi is standing by at the United States. Well, he's not standing by, but he'll be with us soon. Thanks for being here. Do us a favor. Hit that like button for us. Make sure you are subscribed to our YouTube page as well. If you're listening on the podcast, we love you. We thank you. Make sure you're following or subscribed there as well. We are presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app and use code CHGO365 when you sign up. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. So just to recap the scoring really quick. Scoreless through 2. Third period, Frank Nazar gives the Hawks lead with 9:43 gone in the period. With 36 seconds left in the empty net, Mason McTavish sneaks one past Spencer Knight, who was outstanding. Then in overtime, Hawks get a 3-on-1. Donato passes to Bedard. Bedard shoots. Saved. He corrals the rebound and puts it right back out in front to Donato. Hawks win 2-1. And my takeaway from this game, Greg, where it was far from perfect, it was far from pretty. But one thing we're learning about this Blackhawks team is they are resilient as hell.
For sure. I mean, they are, man, they just don't, the things that would make this team completely fold in the last couple of seasons don't seem to bother this team. They ride momentum waves well. They keep at it. I mean, a couple points tonight. The second period was ugly. Dice was definitely tilted to the Ducks.
Yeah.
At one point, the Ducks had 11 straight shots on goal before the Hawks got one on Anaheim. But they came out in the third period and pushed back. When they got the goal, the very next shift, they dominated in the offensive zone, and then they give up the goal with 35 seconds left, and in past years, that's it. They're going to lose that game in overtime.
Yeah, no
but
doubt.
They actually created and nearly got a goal 10 seconds later. Like, it's great to see this. They stay within their system. They stay structured throughout the game. The sloppy, chaotic play that we've been so used to the last few years, those are gone. That's coaching. That's all that is Jeff Blashill. Well, that is his effect on this team.
And when any young team is going to have moments in the game where things get away from them a little bit, where in like the very start of that second period was rough. The Ducks had I have it written here. The first shift of the second period, the Hawks were stuck out there for 2 minutes and 36 seconds, and that set that tone for that entire frame. But slowly but surely, instead of just getting caved in for the entire period, they started to fight back and climb back and close that gap in the second period. They had the edge in play in the third. McTavish with a great shot in overtime, or late in the third to send the game to overtime. But, man, all I saw from top to bottom, whether the player you're thinking of played well or had a so-so game or whatever, they all played their asses off. This is a team that is playing for each other. We have seen them stick up for each other. We have seen them fight for each other. But beyond a scrum after a net front scramble or dropping the gloves because one of your guys got hit hard, they're all competing. And I got to shout out one guy who has been, since the drop of the puck when this season began, Tyler Bertuzzi is playing like a man possessed. He is 100% effort all of the time. And when he is playing that way, he is almost like kind of dragging the young players along with him because no play is dead. He is not giving up on anything. He is always in front of the net. He is always being a pain in the ass. And that's the kind of play that Jeff Blashill wants to see. And not everybody can be Tyler Bertuzzi. Not everybody has that skill set. But you talk about a guy who gets the most out of his skill, that is Bertuzzi, and I think that goes a long way to lend an example. And look, today he was rewarded with an A on his sweater with Dickinson out and Foligno out. He wore an A, and Vlasic wore an A, both deservedly so.
Absolutely. Jeff Blashill is the Tyler Bertuzzi whisperer.
He really is.
I mean, Bertuzzi had his career season of 30 goals and 62 points with Blashill in Detroit, and he's getting maximum effort, maximum engagement so far through 7 games.
Yeah.
We saw this at times from Bertuzzi last year, but it wasn't as consistent as it's been so far this year, and it's great to see that he's rewarded him. He's putting it up to the top line tonight. That line started the game, and that very first shift, they created 2 scoring chances right off the bat, and it set a tone early. But yeah, he's been involved in he's a high event player. Every time he's on the ice, something happens.
Yes.
It's good for that Bedard line to have a guy like that who's just kind of doing all the dirty work on that line. And it's just been fun to watch this team so far. It's crazy to think less than a week ago, Monday night, we had that slog of a game against Utah where it was like, oh my God, this is just that everything was so hard that game. And the 3 games since then, we've seen, a much better team, and just the consistency is there night in, night out. And it's fun that the Hawks can win games when not everything goes right. The last 2-3 seasons, everything had to be perfect for the Hawks to score a goal and then win a game. They could have nothing go wrong because the second something went wrong, they didn't have the talent or the mindset to come back from that. Those days are over.
Yeah.
This team has been in every game. They're, a fluky goal at the end of the game from beating Montreal. They've been in every game.
Even the loss to the Panthers, Jesper Boquist's goal was just off his stomach into the net.
Right. They came back from down. They were down 2-0 after getting run out of the building in the first period, and they came back and nearly won that game.
Yeah.
This has been fun to see. This is the Jeff Blashill effect. Now, there are going to be some dips at the season. I'm sure there's going to be a point of the year where we're going to be 2 or 3 games where we're going to sit here and be like, where's that team from October?
Yeah.
Remember how fun that was? It's going to happen over the course of an 82-game season. It happens to the Florida Panthers. I'm sure there's Florida Panther fans going, what the hell is going on with these guys?
Bums.
You're getting shut out by the Buffalo Sabres. That's not good.
I did love the Brad Marchand.
That was fun. I mean, the only guy in the league that could probably get away with that is Brad Marchand. I mean, it cost him 5 Gs, but whatever. He don't care.
There's no tax.
No
tax, right?
So it's fine.
Do fines get taxed? I don't know. All right, people are. I was gonna save this for the game puck segment, but you know what?
Fire it up.
They want it right now.
It's an overtime.
Give it to them.
The people are calling for it. There he goes. There's Wacky Noodle Man getting ready to celebrate the Hawks win. It's hard for us to turn him on for too long because it makes it hard to hear. But damn it, you people asked for it, you're going to get him. There he is, Wacky Noodle Arm Man, celebrating a Hawks win. Every time the Hawks win, Noodle Man is activated for at least a minute until we can stop hearing ourselves think.
Noisy, yes.
But you mentioned, Greg, just things are not always going to go great. And for the vast majority of this game, we left the building talking about it. Everything was just like a little bit off. You saw Nazar, who obviously maybe had his worst overall game of the year, despite the goal. He did not play great tonight.
No, yeah.
He kind of whiffed on a few pucks.
Yeah, there was that penalty kill in the second period where he was trying to get off the ice, but the puck came back in, and he kind of just stood there looking at the bench while the play got behind him.
Yeah.
It just seemed like but then that third period showed up, and he was a completely different player.
He was great. But the fact that the game was going that way, it could have been very easy for the Hawks to just say, not our night. We'll try again against Tampa. But no, they figured it out. I think they played their best period in the third period, which is what you'd like to see most nights. That's pretty important. Man, the chat is buzzing. The show is buzzing. Please do us a favor. Hit that like button for us.
I mean, look at Noodle Man right now. He's
Noodle Man's
losing his
going
mind.
crazy. He's really excited. It's not quite the same when he's not falling on our heads, but it's still fun. Yeah, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that like button. If you know a Hawks fan, by the way, who's looking for something, maybe someone's like, hey, I've heard the Hawks are pretty good this year. I might start paying attention again. Let them know when the games are over. Come here, watch us. Come watch us at 2:30 on weekdays and support the show. It really helps that word of mouth big time. And honestly, like the change we saw from even like the end of last season to the beginning of this season, just walking around the United Center, people saying hello, letting us know they love the show. We super appreciate it. So tell your friends. That would be really great and appreciated. Two guys, too, that we got to mention. Connor Bedard had 9 shots and 11 shot attempts in this game. Yes, you want to see him score on some of those 9. But before that, like aside from the shots on goal, the poise he showed on the game-winning goal, he gets kind of a tweener pass off. Dostal makes a save, follows up his shot right away, grabs it, and very calmly finds his feet, sets, puts the puck in front of Donato, who just taps it in. For a 20-year-old kid to have that kind of poise when the game is on the line, when the moment's on the line, that was awesome. And he played a great game today, and you think eventually some of these great shots, some of these rockets he's putting off the shoulder are going to start going in.
I mean, you have to score, shoot in order to score. So, thank you. I love the Noodle Man, but after about 10 seconds, it's good. Hey, look at that! He's taking on.
He's hanging out. He's watching. He's watching in front of you.
I'm creeped out now. But anyway, yeah, you would think on a lot of nights, 9 shots on goal would lead to at least 1 goal for Connor Bedard. They'll start falling in, but I mean, how many times did we sit here over the last 2 years ago? Connor Bedard needs to shoot the puck more.
Yeah, there can't be a 2-shot attempt night.
No, so tonight was great, and it's good to see, him playing with so much more confidence. It's the speed, the added speed that he gained in the offseason is definitely helping, but it's the confidence and the comfort level he has of being in the NHL. He doesn't have that I'm a young kid, I'm the new guy attitude anymore. It's like, this is my team. This is my effing team. Let's go.
Yeah. Well, I think, too, and, we could talk a lot about the impact that Jeff Blashill's made on the team, but I think another thing about him is he's not afraid to tell Bedard. I feel like a little bit with Luke and a little bit with Sorensen, they were a little bit hesitant to say anything to Connor, like to upset him, or Blashill's not afraid of that. He's coached Dylan Larkin. He's coached really good, established NHL players. Yeah. He's not afraid to tell Connor Bedard.
Probably told Nikita Kucherov to pull his head out of his ass.
Yeah, knock that stuff off, man. Like,
And Bedard wants to be coached.
Yes,
he wants to be coached. He wants to be told when things aren't good enough,
right,
and what he's doing wrong. And it's working. Yes, we're not even 10% into the schedule yet. It's super early, but the return. The early returns on Jeff Blashill have been outstanding. The coaching staff has got this team playing and believing in themselves. And a young, fast team with confidence is a dangerous team, and they're a threat to win on any night.
Well, and again, things like winning games like this go such a long way in establishing confidence. It goes such a long way. And before we get to the break, we're going to tell you about the Game Puck nominees. The other thing that gives you confidence is knowing you've got a dude behind you that's going to stop everything. Yep. And it gives you a freedom, it gives you a confidence, and it gives you that feeling of like, even if, like, I'm going to try something here. I see Connor Bedard breaking, I'm going to try to thread the needle, past 2 lines, try to hit him on the tape. And if I don't, I know that number 30 behind me is going to probably make the stop and bail me out. That is so important. It's such an important thing for a team to feel, because we learned about it the year that Soderblom's down year. When he was in, guys knew, like, I can't make a mistake. Yeah. If I make a mistake, it's in the back of the net when he's in. and it just cripples you as a player, and you can't. You're thinking about, you're double thinking everything. Like, I want to. He's back there. I better play it safe, and then you don't get the opportunities to score. Spencer Knight was great. Obviously, one of our nominees for Game Puck.
Real quick before this, the break zone. Spencer Knight in his career against the Ducks.
Oh yes, please.
Is in 4 starts is 4-0. He was 35 seconds away from his 3rd shutout against the Ducks.
That's crazy.
He has stopped 121 of the 125 shots he's faced for a .968 career save percentage against the Ducks. Please put them on the schedule 12 more times.
.968. Holy cow. That's insane. All right, well, Knight obviously gets a Game Puck nomination, Connor Bedard, and we're going to give the last one to Ryan Donato for the game-winning goal. Vote on that poll on our YouTube. We'll reveal the winner at the end of the show. When we come back, we're going to hear from Blackhawks goaltender Spencer Knight on CHGO's Blackhawks, presented by Bet365. Whatever the sport, the app to bet is Circa Sports Illinois. You're going to put all your money on the Chicago football team for the rest of the year, go undefeated, run the table. Maybe don't do that. But, dude, have fun on Circa Sports anyway. It's awesome. It's sports betting the way it should be. Circa Sports Illinois has high betting limits. That's good. Low holds. That's good. And exceptional customer service. That's better than not exceptional customer service. Bet on all your favorite teams in every game all season long. They've got spreads, props, futures, in-games. Everything you need, Circa Sports has it. You can fund and bet like a pro from anywhere, anytime in Illinois. So download your new bookie today at circasports.com. You must be 21 years of age or older. Again, that's circasports.com. Gambling problem, you can call 1-800-GAMBLER. And new vehicles are in store at Ray Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Thank you. And this is your chance to score a great deal at the Drive into Fall event. Head to Ray CDJR on Route 12 today to choose from their huge inventory of new Chrysler, Dodges, Jeepses, and Ramses vehicles. Right now, you can get 0% financing on 72 months, available on new models. Plus, shop over 125 vehicles priced under $20,000 with a friendly team of brand experts. The team at Ray CDJR is here to help you during each step of your car shopping journey. And with Ray's Price Promise, you can shop confidently with no add-ons or hidden fees ever. The price you see is the price you pay. It is that simple. Don't miss out on the Drive into Fall event for huge savings on new models. For more info, visit Ray CDJR today on Route 12 in Fox Lake or online at raycdjr.com. They've been serving the community since 1963. All right, we are back on CHGO Blackhawks. 640 people watching the show right now. That is awesome, but only 268 likes. Please.
That math doesn't math.
Hit that like button for us. Here's why it's important.
I was going to say just really quick.
Yeah.
When Noodle Man came out, I swear to God, we got like 50 likes. Smashed in like 2 seconds.
Don't give them Noodle Man.
We went from 180 to 225.
Yeah, when we get over 300 likes, Noodle Man will come. For every 100, I turn Noodle Man back
There
on.
you
Not
go.
give
Put a
Noodle
carrot.
Man away for free.
But here's why it's important. You're hockey fans. You know that hockey doesn't get coverage. Guess what? YouTube also doesn't really care about hockey. So the more you like videos related to hockey and related to the Blackhawks, not only are you going to see more of our stuff, you're going to see more hockey and Blackhawks stuff on YouTube, and it lets YouTube know, hey, hockey matters. I'm going to pump that stuff up, especially this show right here. That's what we need. We got some super chats to get to. We're going to, but let's hear from Blackhawks goaltender Spencer Knight first. This is him post-game via Mario's phone.
Spencer, you're that close to a shutout and they score in the last minute like that. How do you get yourself back up for the chaos of overtime?
Just take a drink of water and keep going.
How have you seen the young defensemen starting, especially playing 7? Kind
It's
of
fine.
developing
That's
a
how I
chip
want my
over
goalie.
these last 7 games?
Yeah, and I know they're all good players. A lot of skill, poise, all the guys with size too. So it's cool to see. Great people. So just love playing for them.
Is there not any extra special game you'll win in your 100th game?
No, I didn't even know it was my 100th game, to be honest with you.
What did you see from the team overall tonight?
Just resiliency, probably. Staying with it. And that's the thing. You gotta earn. It's a privilege to be in positions where you're in close games. So I think that's important for us to realize too. Is that you could say, like we're losing these games. We're so close. But and that's what the NHL is. You get the playoffs. It's not going to be 7-0, 6-1, 5-1 games. It's 3-2, maybe 4-3, 5-4. They're going to be 1-goal games. So it's a privilege to be in that situation. And I think it's good for us just to be in those situations where it means something in the end, playing all the way to the buzzer in the third period.
Has it helped the depth on the penalty kill when you've got a guy like Dickinson and Foligno out to be able to keep rolling young guys through?
Yeah, just it's just kind of like a next man up mentality, I guess, right? A lot of great players that we all trust. So to me, I don't really even think twice just about who's on the ice. I just trust all our guys and whoever's out there. I know I got their back and they got mine. So
it's early in the season, but how have you felt with the workload so far? 5 starts in 7 games.
Fine. It's all good.
Thanks, Spencer.
That's how I like my goalies. Cool, calm, and collected.
And weird. Well, that's just a goalie. Goalies are weird.
We did it. 341 likes, so Noodle Man is back on.
Attacking me.
Because you're talking crap about him, man. No, you know what? Spencer Knight, someone had an idea. Sponsored by Sunnyside, perhaps. Someday. But that's what you want. I want a low-key goalie. I want a goalie who's just very chill, very calm. No moments too big for him, never too high, never too low. But I will say this,
the exact
Spencer.
opposite of the other guy that used to wear 30 in this town.
Well, there is one similarity with those two. Stay in the net, please. I am too old and fat for 2 or 3. Where is he going? What is he doing with the puck moments? And usually it works out. But my God. It is so scary when these goalies, Belfour did it, Spencer Knight does it.
Well, Belfour did it in the era where there was no trapezoid, so he was going.
He go anywhere he wants.
He
going to
was
the
going
corners
corner and getting the puck.
And he's wanting to hit somebody. But yeah, it is scary. But you know what? Spencer Knight's a really good puck handler. And does he have any assists yet this year? I don't think so. He will end this year with over under 4.5. I'm gonna go under, but barely.
I'll go over just because I think he's gonna get some on the power play, where he's gonna catch a team
breakout pass
and get that pass up the ice, catch them in a line change.
Can he do the slingshot? Can he be the?
Why not? Would that make you stop complaining about it as often?
Nope. All right, let's get some super chats in here real quick before Mario joins us from the UC. Ralph J. $2 says, win doesn't happen without Bedard. Back check, stick check. That's right. He's been doing that a lot this season.
Back check, stick check, paycheck.
And someone pointed out to me on Twitter, too, that on that game-winning goal, he's at the end of a shift, and he is busting ass to get into that play, the 3-on-1, to make it a 3-on-1. He's tired. He accepts the pass from Donato, which was a little off the mark. Still gets a shot off. Just a great play from Connor Bedard. Really good game from him. Cam likes cheese. We all do, Cam.
I like cheese, too.
Says, Kaiser looks great, except for the delay of game. Rinzel is settling in. Nazar is worth double his contract. This game wasn't perfect, but they're progressing. Yeah, Wyatt Kaiser is... those are going to happen. It was a horrible time for it to happen. I feel awful for him that McTavish scored on that power play. But Wyatt Kaiser is just so calm, cool, and collected. There was a moment in the first period where it looks like the Ducks had like almost a partial breakaway, and he defended the Duck player from behind and just took the puck away, knocked it into the corner, and nothing came of it. There's so many little things that Wyatt Kaiser does that won't show up on a stat sheet. A shot block saved a goal today from Kaiser in the third period.
There was a play on the penalty kill in the second period, late in the second period, where the Hawks kind of got caught in a long change, in a bad line change, and he made a great back check to prevent a scoring chance.
Yeah, he's been dynamite.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of those little things that don't show up on stat sheets, and he's the best defenseman at reading the play out there.
Yeah.
Like, he jumps passes so often because he just knows where it's going.
Corey, $2 says, how about that hit on Gauthier by Renzel? Yep, that was good. Enjoyed
That was a good one. The Levshunov hit in the first period was pretty good, too.
We want to talk about him a little bit, too. Someone asked about it.
Seneke. He bailed out because Kaiser had a turnover in the center of the ice, and it went on his stick, and Levshunov was there, and he just put him on his butt.
Yep.
Good play.
Windy City Hockey, $2 says, Spencer Knight is our knight in shining pads. Like that. Labowski 5 for $5 says, the general NHL community loves the Ducks' future. This narrative is changing game. For the Hawks, this is a game that gets the Hawks on the NHL radar. I really think the Blues game was the one that changed the narrative on the Hawks.
But beating one of the teams that they're kind of on the rise with helps. The Sharks being just complete ass helps
What?
too. Yeah, I know. But good vibes, though.
What do you mean?
They've only lost 16 in a row. They're going to turn it around.
The team that finished 9 points behind last year's Blackhawks are not good. Adding Philip Kurashev and Ryan Reeves didn't solve all their problems.
I mean, they've lost 16 in a row. Will Smith is getting demoted and saying, I don't care what my coach says. I'm just going to do what I do. Macklin Celebrini's taking post-game, pressers looking like a hostage. Like he apparently, where's the tweets that he wants to go back to Vancouver?
Yeah, I thought he wants to go back to
He's
Vancouver.
obviously hates it in San Jose.
Yeah, where's the Zapruder film about body language on the Sharks?
Sharks are letting questionable messages get on their scoreboard. It's been a hell of a start for them.
That was interesting.
I like Ryan Warsofsky a lot. I covered him for a couple years with the Wolves, but I think he's going to be calling his real estate agent real soon. I think they're getting ready to make a change there.
And they're not the worst team in hockey.
Some of the stuff that happens, who's worse than them?
Calgary is 1-5.
But they have a win. Sharks don't have.
They have a win. But
Sharks have what? 3 overtime
Sharks have
losses?
a .200 win percentage, point percentage. The Flames have a .167.
I bet you that Flames win was against the Sharks.
I think you're right, actually. Oof, it's rough. All right, another super chat we got to get to from Samuel. Says, I know it's early and they're going to come down to earth, but do you think there's a chance they'll be fighting for a playoff spot in the final week of the season? Also, Spencer Knight is him. No. I don't think they'll be fighting for a playoff spot when the season ends because they're just so young. There's going to be a letdown. There's going to be slumps. There's going to be and just as close as this team could be to having a much better record, they could also have a much worse record. These 1-goal games can go either way.
What are you, 6-7 over there?
I do this all the time. I've been doing this since 1977. Stupid youths stole it from me.
1967?
No, I was not born then. But yeah, I don't
turn that into a gift.
I think we've talked about this a little bit in the past, and if they're still in the hunt, if they're still in the playoff picture, come Christmas, come Valentine's Day,
Olympic break, yeah.
Then that's a really big win for them.
Right. If they're coming back from the Olympics and you're like, hey, they're only 6 points out of a wild card spot, this has been a really good year.
That's a super successful.
Absolutely. I mean, they're on pace for what? 80, a little over 82 points. They got 7 points.
I'll do that math in the break zone.
They got 8 points in 7 games. So they're on pace for about 85, 90 points, which isn't going to get you in the playoffs. But it means you're playing meaningful games in March, which you haven't done in a long time.
If their final point total starts with an 8,
it's a great
Jeff
season.
Blashill is a Jack Adams Award winner. I don't think there's any question about it. When you talk about the way the conversation was about this team coming into the season, you read all the preseason stuff from The Athletic and from all these outlets that say the Blackhawks are going to be the worst team in hockey. All of them. Because, I'm going to be honest, they weren't watching. They go through the roster and go, there's not much here. Connor Bedard really hasn't been what we thought. Frank Nazar, guy's played, 50 games and they paid him that much? That's a mistake. Who's Alex Vlasic? Sam Renzel, never heard of him. Levshunov, they should have taken Demidov. And now all of a sudden it's on the ice and it's coached and it's given it's also the team's also given the permission to use their talents appropriately. And all of a sudden they're good.
And there's more.
They're competitive.
And
They're fun.
And there's so much more coming.
Yes.
It's ridiculous.
Well, and see, that's the thing, too, is so the question is, will they be in the playoff race at the end of the season? I don't think so because I think you'll see the true contenders will start to add some of the Hawks have a lot of pieces they should move at the deadline.
Yes.
And I'll say this now. even if they've got a wild card spot at the deadline, make room for Moore, make room for Frondell. You move on from Dickinson. You move on from Lafferty. You don't keep these veterans around just because, let's just make a playoff run. Start building for the future, because next year, then you could really start having a playoff conversation. You really can. But I don't think we got plenty of time to talk about this, but I want to see more and more and more young players join this thing this year. And I'm not going to sacrifice that just for the outside chance of getting smoked in the first round by Dallas or whoever it might be.
It'll be an interesting conversation to have at the Olympic break. Hopefully, they're still in the conversation.
All right, you're going to hit the break zone one final time. We should be hearing from Mario Tirabassi here soon. Hit that like button for us. We're over 400, so Noodle Man will go back on the other side of this break on CHGO Blackhawks, presented by Bet365. Most people can't name all their financial accounts or what they're worth, like your 401k, your property, your investments, whatever. If you want to feel organized and confident in your finances, get Monarch Money, an all-in-one personal finance tool that brings your entire financial life together in one clean interface on your laptop or your phone. And right now, just for our listeners, Monarch is offering 50% off your first year. I started using Monarch 2 weeks ago, and I saw that I was spending way too much money in one category. You'll never guess which category that was, Joey. That's right.
Money.
A little too much on food. So, because with that knowledge, I took it and I actively started cutting that spending. I saved $150 in food this week that I would have spent without knowing. It's great, and it's all because of Monarch. Monarch isn't just another finance app. It's a tool real professionals and experts actually love, named the best budgeting app of 2025 by the Wall Street Journal. So don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Use our code CHGO at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with our code CHGO. That's a good code. We use it all the time. And this episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this football season on Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Love playing Prize Picks. Today, let's say you picked Caleb Williams, less than 200 yards passing.
Cashed.
DeAndre Swift, over 100 yards rushing.
Cashed.
Boom. That's how you do it. The more you pick, the more you win. It's awesome. Prize Picks puts their users first, so all withdrawals are fast and secure. Prize Picks offers Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard, and more. Here's what you do. Download the app today. Use our code CHGO to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. All right, we're back. We got 416 likes, so Noodle Man is on. Very, very exciting. Can we get to 500? That would be the highest total for the year if I got to 500. So let's do that. Let's make that happen. And yeah, hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe. If you don't know what the like button is, by the way, someone asked, it's the thumbs up button right next to the play button on YouTube. You can't miss it. Hit that button for us. All right, I'm hitting this button.
We did the math. We crunched the numbers. I brought out the abacus and took my shoes off. Hawks are on pace for 94 points. 93.7.
Love that station.
Yes. 94 points.
Last year,
St. Louis Blues got the final playoff spot in the West last year at 96.
96.
So, there you go. But again, 7 games in.
Yeah, let's
long way to go. Let's just enjoy what's been a fantastic start. A start better than anybody expected.
Yep.
And just enjoy fun, competitive hockey.
That's it. They have been all those things. And I was thinking about this today. It's so nice to feel stressed watching a game or invested in a game.
Yeah.
Where, and like last year,
You feel disappointed when that goal goes in.
right? Yeah, like last year, it's a new season. You're hopeful and like, okay, maybe, just maybe, and then they lay an egg in Utah, and that preseason was horrible last year. Not a lot of hope, and then like Nazar didn't make the team out of camp, so it was kind of like, oh, that's kind of a disappointment, a setback. And then then this camp opens and it's intense and everyone's talking positive and everybody loves what Jeff Blashill's bringing and saying and doing. And then the preseason looks pretty good. Not great, not, but okay. They're in games. regular season starts, they battle Florida despite being vastly out-talented. And it's just fun. And now we're 7 games into this thing, and I have felt a buzz about the Blackhawks that I have not felt in this town for a long time. And you could feel it going to games. You could feel it walking through the United Center. The anthem is louder. The cheers are louder. The reaction to the in-game entertainment is more engaged. Just the entire feel around the Blackhawks this year is so much better and so much healthier. I think fans are really starting to figure out, like, okay, this is, you hear about Bedard, and then he's maybe not what everyone dreamed he would be right off the hop, right? He's not immediately Connor McDavid or Sidney Crosby. But, now Nazar comes up. And then, late in the season, these young guys come up and it gets a little bit of attention. They finish the season strong. And now they're holding their own and they're contributing. They're being the best players on the team. It is such a great feel around the team this year. And I hope you're right, Greg. I hope that the national side of things starts to pick up on this a little bit and start to realize this is a pretty decent team.
Well, there's going to be more national buzz because they're on national TV a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, the Thursday game, the next game against Tampa is on ESPN Plus, so that's national broadcast. And the problem was last season they were on national broadcast a lot, but they were getting tanked. That Winter Classic, that's all people have to think about. So of course the national narrative was bad because the only time they'd see them, they were getting embarrassed on TV. Well, now they come out, they're the ones embarrassing the Blues on national TV. They go down and play well against Tampa. Tampa's not off to a good start. What do they have? Only 4 points?
Let's see. Tampa has...
last time I checked, they were at the bottom.
They are 1-3-2.
And you can't tell me Jeff Blashill doesn't have a little chip on his shoulder, want to go down there and beat his former team.
Yeah.
That's a winnable game. Start of the season, you probably were like, both of those games in Florida, just forget about those.
Yeah.
That's a winnable game all of a sudden. You're catching Tampa at the right time. And, go down there and win that game, all of a sudden more people are going to start paying attention and more people are going to start realizing that this thing is heading in the right direction. The Elliot Friedman talked the other day. Kyle Davidson, they're talking extension with the Blackhawks. I know his record
tonight would be a good time to do it.
I know his record isn't great, but if you're paying attention, you should be very happy with what's going on and what's still to come.
There's no doubt about that. It's very encouraging. And remember, your probably best prospect is still in Sweden. You've got a really good one doing big things for Boston University and Sasha Bover. You've got Roman Kanserov. Can you, before we bring Mario in, I had you save that comment, Joey, from I think the name was Alex something. And he pointed out all the stats of the prospects.
Yeah. Kanserov has 17 points in 17 games. Frondell's been very good.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah. Lardis, 8 points in 5 games. Kanserov, 17 points in 17 games. Moore, 6 points in 5 games. Frondell, 9 points in 12 games.
And the excitement and the competitiveness the Blackhawks have, the Ice Hogs are experiencing that. They're 4-1. They lost their first game today, but it was a crazy game against the Wolves. They were down 3-0, and then we're up 4-3 and 5-4 and lost 6-5.
Yeah.
But Nick Lardis had a 4-point game today.
Yeah.
After it's super exciting. Top to bottom, this franchise, what's going on.
All right, let's go to the United Center and bring in Mario Tirabassi, who was in the locker room and took in what Jeff Blashill had to say post-game. Mario, hello.
What's up?
Let's just get your thoughts on the game first. We've had 38 minutes to flap gums. What were your takeaways of this one?
I think this game represented this Blackhawks team as a team that can bend and not break, and a team that can find ways to win comparatively to the last few seasons in which they found ways to lose. And also, I think we're starting to see a team that can adapt to the play style that you need a game to be. This game was not the most crisp performance you've ever seen for a full 60 minutes, but they were able to adapt to how the Ducks were playing and then also kind of flip the narrative in the game in the third period. And whereas the previous game they played on Friday, the overtime, they didn't really have a lot of good chances. They created really good chances tonight, obviously, in overtime, and they were able to capitalize and finish them. They possessed the puck more in overtime. So, you pair that with the game against the Mammoth, where it was just not a pretty hockey game, and they were able to adapt and find a way to win. And then you have a game like, the first couple of games where they're right there with Florida, they're right there with Boston. You get a big win against the Blues. Like, this is a team that I think once they settle into the flow of what a game is going to be, they're going to be able to adapt and be able to play the style necessary to be competitive, which is very impressive for how this team is made up of, a lot of young players. But I think they're really learning the lessons of what it takes to win in the NHL, and they're learning it fast. So I'm very impressed with this team so far through 7 games.
Yeah, I mean that's it. Like, for a team this young to show this kind of resilience is impressive, and I think a lot of that credit goes to Jeff Blashill. And like, make no mistake too, Blashill, great. You also go in and bring in Michael Pekka, who is one of the most respected hockey players ever, and if you want to feel really old, a lot of these guys never saw him play. But like, super respected, two-way guy, totally played the style of hockey that Jeff Blashill is trying to instill in this team. Mike Vellucci, who has been all around the NHL, all around hockey, super experienced veteran, and then they've got the nice shoulder to cry on in Anders Sorensen if they're upset, a guy they've known and trust and have been around for a long time. It's just really well put together, and it's a really healthy organization for the growth of these players. And look, as we talked about last segment, like a potential extension coming for Kyle Davidson, that is the development of these kids is what is going to dictate his success. And I think what he's put together this year in terms of helping this NHL team develop, it can't go unsaid. It can't go unmentioned, because we all kind of rolled our eyes at the Jeff Blashill hire. Like, oh God, this is just another retread, another guy who failed in Detroit and just kind of the best of what's left, I guess. But he has been exactly what this team has needed.
Yeah, I think Blashill's messaging and his style is really shining through, and I think one of the big factors in the way that this team has played, the results that they've gotten, and kind of the confidence that they can play with, is because of how Spencer Knight has played. I mean, he's a .937 save percentage. In 5 starts, he's saved 8.2 goals above what a average goaltender is expected to do. And when you're talking about a Blackhawks team that, each of their losses is by 1 goal, those saves matter. So I think it was Paul Maurice after the first game talked about the Blackhawks, and I think he had the comment about like having a goaltender like Spencer Knight helps you in those games where you just need that one extra save, or you have a team that just needs that little bit extra from the goaltender position to kind of take you to the next step. If you didn't believe in Spencer Knight, tonight was a night that should absolutely put it over the top.
Yeah, and it's not, you save a goal again. It's not to take anything away from Mrazek or anything away from Arvid Soderblom, but when the guy is saving at least a goal he should give up every game, that makes you get to overtime, and then overtime's a coin toss, right? Like it does make such a big difference over time, and we were talking about it earlier, where it also allows everyone on the ice to play with confidence and know that if they do make a mistake, it's not going to absolutely end up in the back of their net. He has been outstanding. We could probably just name the game puck winner now because he's running away with it. We have had 1, 2, 3. What was this, game 7 for the Hawks?
7, yeah.
He has won 5 game pucks.
Every game he started.
Every game he has started, he has won the game puck.
I mean, we sat there midway through the third period, and we're like, well, game pucks. I just said Spencer Knight's going to win it, so it doesn't even matter who else we nominate.
We could have put Enrico
Spencer,
Ciccone and Jim Cummins on there. And
right. and most of our YouTube audience will have never heard of those guys. I'm voting for Spencer
Doesn't
Knight.
matter. We're all voting for Spencer Knight anyway.
I would have voted for Enrico.
That's my guy.
That was my guy. Good old number 39.
Well, I did want to, since we're talking about Spencer Knight, Jeff Blashill had some good things to say about him after the game. And I will say, both in the pregame scrum during morning skate and the postgame press conference, when asked about Spencer Knight, Blashill had gone out of his way to also say we've gotten good goaltending from Arvid Soderblom already this season as well, not to leave him out, and saying that team goaltending is just as important, before going on to specifically talk about Spencer Knight. But he talked about Knight's mentality and framing this season, these games already so far, in a playoff mentality, that these are the types of games and the style of hockey that's necessary to be successful once it's playoff time. So I thought that was very interesting that, Knight has talked about that. He's coming from the Panthers, and Jeff Blashill had some things to say about that mentality.
I've been really impressed with him. He's been part of a great organization in Florida. He's seen what it takes to get to the top. And I've been really impressed with the conversations I've had with him of him understanding how you have to play, understanding how the process has to be, understanding all those things. And I think he's helped impart that to a lot of our younger players. And it's just a learned thing. And I'm sure when Spencer first came in the league, he didn't know that. And now as he's watched, what's been the best team in the league the last number of years, watched how they went about their business, he learned a lot. I think he's done a really good job. We've kind of, I think we've gained a really good goalie, but we've also gained somebody that has that experience, and that's important.
And I know you guys played Knight after he spoke in the locker room, and you can just really tell from his demeanor that he is a very singularly focused type of guy. And coming from an organization like the Panthers, when he got here last season, there was a lot made about, having that experience, having been with the Panthers and in that atmosphere. And he's brought it here, and he has that mentality here where I don't think he really cares about the regular season. He knows that the playoffs is what's most important when you get there. And I think he understands, obviously, he's not just brushing it aside, regular season doesn't matter, but I think it is the understanding of getting to the playoffs and getting into that season, that second season of hockey is where it's at. And I think he's got a mentality of, trying to do what he can to bring this team into that atmosphere and into the playoffs. And if the season ended right now, they'd be in. So let's go by that math.
All right, cancel the rest of the season. Fort.
Fast forward to the playoffs. Remember those days when the regular season was just like,
barely.
God,
barely.
This sucks. Get to the playoffs.
We'd still do, God, this sucks, just there were no playoffs.
For different reasons.
We'll get to the playoffs so I can watch good hockey. But culture and identity are two of the most overused buzzwords in all of sports, and I hate them both. But it looks like the Blackhawks have finally built that culture they've been talking about since Kyle Davidson got here on day one, and they definitely have found their identity. The last two seasons we heard it's December and January, and we hear Nick Foligno and other guys say, well, we're still trying to find our identity. You don't find your identity in December. You find your identity in September and early October in training camp, and this team did. Their identity is a fast team that is resilient and is really hard to play against.
That's it. There's no easy points against the Blackhawks. And even when we saw, there have been some moments this season. The first period against, was it the end of the first period or the second period against Florida, where they were just taking it to the Hawks, just railing them, and they couldn't stop it. And there were moments in that Mammoth game where Utah was just taking it to them. In this game, the first half of the second period, the Ducks are all over them. But in all of those games, they have withstood it and fought back and come back, or they've won the game, or whatever it might be, that is huge. You could just get blitz for 60 minutes and end up losing 4-0 or 5-0, whatever it might be. But this team has not quit. And what is going to be interesting now is, as we talk about the growing reputation of this team and the word getting out that, hey, Chicago is not a pushover anymore, we're going to start seeing fewer backups as the opponents. We're going to start seeing teams ready to play the Hawks instead of just chalking up 2 points and showing up at 80% effort and then maybe finding it later in the game when they go, oh, wait a minute, this is a different Blackhawks team. That word's going to start to get out, and teams are going to start getting ready for them. So how will they respond there? But it's a great dilemma to have, because I didn't think 7 games into the season we'd be talking about a complete flip of the conversation on the Blackhawks. Hold on.
We get it? 500?
Got 500. Noodle Man.
Yep. Thanks to the 3 Ducks fans
Send
for the
them
thumbs
nudes.
down button.
Whoa, 2 of them.
Yeah. Steven volunteered to stay and do it too.
We got a thumbs down from the entire season ticket holder base. Of the
All
Ducks?
3 Ducks
Wow.
fans?
That's great.
There might be a Sharks fan there too, searching for vibes.
Yeah.
Searching for the vibes. Where'd they go?
They were never really there.
They're all in bobblehead form now.
Yeah, down the drain in San Jose. Go ahead, Greg.
Yeah, I was just going to add real quick to Jay's point about the not quitting. I think the most impressive not quit that we've seen this year was the third period of that Blues game when they were up 5-2. A lot of teams, especially young teams, were like, oh, this game's in the bag.
Yep.
Let's just go through the motions and get out of here. Nope. They kept attacking them wave after wave after wave and got 3 more goals. To me, that's been the most impressive period of the season.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that is something that we saw over the last 2 years where, man, was it 2 seasons ago, the Dallas game where they were up 5-1 and lost or something like that? Like that was just, oh, you shrug your shoulders. That's what this team can be capable of. And I think, you have an example already in your pocket this season of this team being able to have the mentality of like, you're in control of the game. Don't lose control of the game. Don't lose sight of what you're looking for. And being able to close out a game like that, it's been really impressive. And the fact that you've gone into every third period this season either leading or tied. Was there a stretch last year where they had 7 games in a row where they were either leading or tied into a third period?
I don't know if they were leading or tied 7 games total last year.
Yeah, I mean, fair point. We were talking about it, the media group before we went into the locker room about what was the stat, the sugarcoating stat last season under Richardson was that 25 of 30 games or something they had a stretch where they were either leading, tied, or within a goal. Well, so far through 7 games, they haven't had to be within a goal going into the third period. They've been leading or tied, which is, it's a smaller sample size. But if that can be a trend, if that can be the trend for this team, you take that 1,000 times out of 1,000.
All right, I know you've got more from Jeff Blashill. We are short on time, so why don't we get to those quickly here?
Sure. He talked about kind of to the point of the adaptability of the team. He talked about how from the second to the third period, they were able to kind of change the way that they were playing and kind of bring the game back to the Ducks rather than have the game come to them. So this is what he said about that flip from the second to third period.
Well, that's momentum is one. I think sometimes I think we did to them in the third what they did to us in the second. That was kind of grind us in our end. We can barely get off the ice, and then they grind you in. And then in the third, I thought we did that to them. And so when you make the other team play defense a lot, all they're trying to do is get a change. You just keep jamming it back down the throats. We had times where we changed on the fly with guys in the O-zone, and so that's kind of the back and forth of a hockey game sometimes. It was. The second, I thought we kind of hurt ourselves by not being strong enough on the puck and probably turning too many pucks over. I thought in the third, we did a better job of when there was plays to be made, man, we went tape to tape and it was fun to watch. But when there wasn't plays to be made, we made the smart play and got it in behind. And then because of that, we played their end more.
Yeah, I think You look at this team being able to not let a game slip away and be able to kind of, through the first two periods, we talked about, just everything was just a little bit off with this team, and they weren't able to kind of find that breakout. They were able to find it in the third period and carry that to a win.
One thing real quick before we get to the next one. What I like, and maybe this is no kidding, Jay. That's very obvious. But the things that he is preaching are being reflected in the games. When they are hard on pucks.
Yeah, no kidding, Jay.
When they do what he says, they have success, and when they don't, they don't. And it's like, see? Remember when I told you? It's like coaching softball, and I'm like, you need to keep your head down when you swing. If you fly your head out, you're not going to hit the ball. Put your head down when you swing. And they put their head down, and they hit the ball really hard, and I just go, see? I'm not making this up. That there is science behind this. There is reason behind this. I'm not just talking out my ass for once. It works for a reason, and Blashill gets to demonstrate that all the time. The part of this game that started falling apart, the start of the second period, is when they started losing structure, started losing puck battles, late to the puck, not strong enough on their sticks, and then they fixed that, and they won the effing game. It is right there in 4K for them to watch after every game if they pay for CHSN. It's right there. It's right there. The lessons are there for them every night. Every night.
Yeah, no, it's proof is in the pudding, as somebody once said.
Pudding. Okay, last Jeff Blashill.
Yeah, the last one, he talked about, kind of the messaging after the late goal that easily could just completely deflate you like Noodle Man, and that late tying goal turns into, an overtime loss or maybe a shock goal at the end, and you fumble it away in regulation. But this is what he had to say about that message at the end of the game and how they were able to kind of rebound and not lose their composure.
What'd you tell the team after Anaheim scores with 100 minutes to go to send it to overtime?
Let's go win the hockey game, and that stuff happens, and we've had our fair share of kind of tough breaks, and I don't know if breaks the right word. I'm not a big believer in breaks, but we've had tough moments where we've kind of got knocked down a little bit, and I think we've continued to get back up, and that's a huge part of this life, man. It's going to happen, and but I thought we went out to win the game. I mean, overtimes are overtimes. Like they had some 2-on-1s. If they execute, then they score. But you get enough of them. I thought we did some things that we had talked about actually this morning. We kind of met on 3-on-3 and 4-on-4, ironically enough, and I thought we did some smart things, a couple of smart changes, stuff like that.
So just being smart, like you were talking about, listen to your coach, do the smart thing, and you can find success. And I think this is a team that I think probably because a lot of them are young guys and they're learning these lessons as this is the NHL life. This is what it takes to be successful. They're absorbing it. I'm glad a lot of these young guys are sponges and taking in to heart those lessons of what it takes to win and putting it into practice.
All right, great stuff, Mario. Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow at practice at 10:30 and at 2:30 on the show.
Oh, there is practice tomorrow?
There is practice tomorrow. Yep, just got the email. Sorry, everybody.
I will be there.
All right, we'll talk to you tomorrow. Thanks, man.
See you guys.
That is Mario Tirabassi live from United Center. And with that, we head from the Madhouse on Madison to the Frathouse on Madison. And our featured frat boy today is Frank Nazar, who gave the Hawks their first goal. 1 goal, 3 shots on goal, 21-21 of ice time. And again, good to see a guy who is not having his best game get a big goal and have a big impact anyway. That stuff goes a long way for confidence.
Yeah, I mean, that goal was a great play. He made a great play to keep at the blue line to keep possession of the puck. And then kind of off-balance goal there to get the puck over the line. That erased all the kind of that we saw in the first 2 periods. And that's, what the great players do in any sport is they don't let a couple of bad plays early in a game derail them for the whole night. They bounce back and they make a play when it matters most.
All right, we were going to wrap up the show, but we got 2 super chats we got to get to. So we are going to go to overtime If you're watching us
Hey,
on the Fast
Blackhawks
channel,
went to overtime. We got to.
yeah. If you're watching us on the Fast channels, that's the Roku or the Xfinity, whatever it will be. Head over to allchgo.com to watch the rest of the show. But we got one here from Duff McShank. If that's your real name, that's impressive. Joey, I can't read that. You got to go back to the preview screen. I am an old man. There we go. It says, great pressure in the zones, good hockey IQ. The one thing that stands out is that Andre Burakovsky would be better if he was wearing another number. #retire28. That is all. Hey, we're all with you. It's a very strange thing. I will never understand it, but yes, Steve Larmer should absolutely have his number retired. Thank you for the super chat. We also have $10 from Eris Mix 23. Says this season has been so exciting, and it just makes me more excited to come for my first takeover December 13th. I try to make one game a year since I live in Ohio, so I can't wait for that one. We can't either. And I think we still got some tickets left for some of our takeovers. We've got the Sweet Night for Jonathan Taves' return on January 19th, 18th, whatever it might be. That game against Winnipeg, you know what it is. We're in a suite. It's going to be awesome. And then we've got the season finale against the Vibes Kings of the world, the San Jose Sharks.
Maybe Macklin Celebrini will be on the Canucks by then.
He might be, because he wants to be there because of his faces. Woof. Join us there. Become a diehard. AllCHGO.com is the website. That diehard membership will save you 20% on everything. Merch, takeovers, watch parties, tailgates, whatever you want to go to. It's 20% off, and you get the free shirt or hat right off the hop. So join us today, allchgo.com, or scan that QR code right there on your screen. All right, we are going to wrap things up. We gave you a minute of overtime, which is about what the Hawks did.
You're not going to feed in the young.
I didn't.
Quick 99 cents for you, the young Dangle.
All right,
God.
young Dangle God says,
fine.
don't let all the success of the U's deter you from the Kaner resigning in summer of 2026. And then he throws in his dollar for mentoring Patrick Kane.
I haven't seen the bit since young Dangle God became young Dangle Dad.
Old Dangle God.
Yeah, but
Dangle God Senior.
He's committed.
Yes. Patrick Kane hurt, by the way. Missed the game today.
Didn't play today.
By the way, Detroit, they're good.
Give it time.
I don't like it.
If you think Cam Talbot's going to be this good of a goalie all season,
They got John Gibson. John Gibson's pretty good.
Gibson's hurting bad half the time too.
That's true. Or maybe he just wanted to be hurt because he was on the Ducks for so long. Like, my groin.
Yeah, but he can't even beat out Cam Talbot.
Tam Calbit. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Detroit sucks.
534
Just like that guy right
likes.
below the press box says every night. Detroit sucks.
He'll get it going someday. Maybe when Detroit's in town. Hit the like button on your way out. Subscribe on your way out. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 2:30 on CHGO Blackhawks.
We all silly like the mayor.